What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Let's turn this old hand-sewn wig into a new machine-sewn wig. Alright, so welcome back. So today's video, I'll be showing you how I'm going to turn this old stretched out wig into a nicely constructed machine-sewn wig. This is one I used to do hand-sewn wigs, so as you can see, it's very much stretched out. The tracks are coming undone, and we're just going to be using the frontal and the bundles today. We're not, replacing the frontal or anything, and I'm just showing you up close that it is time for this wig to be retired and done. Alright, so what you'll need. You will need a mesh dome cap. I prefer mesh over a regular dome cap because as you can see, it is see-through. You can see if you're making any mistakes before you make it unfixable. So that's why I like to use a mesh dome cap. Also, it's really breathable, I feel like, compared to a regular dome cap. Next, you're going to need a curved needle. You can use a straight one, but I prefer a curved one. It's just easier and quick for you to do. Next, you're going to need a metallic marker. This is from Michael's brand, so whatever metallic marker you want, get it. Then you're going to need some thread of your choice. I like to use nylon thread. I ordered this off of Amazon, this really big one. And then I got this canvas head from GEX. I got that also from Amazon a couple years ago. It's my first one ever, so it's really dirty. Very, very dirty. And I like to use that if I'm like, coloring or anything, or just like this, I'm gonna be using the marker to mark out my blueprint, so I like to use this head so I'm not staining my other ones. Alright, your blueprint. This is gonna help you easily sew down and make your wig. So first things first, you want to pull the frontal, your closure, whatever, you want to pull it down slightly in front of that cap, and that's just going to create a space for you when you put the wig on yourself. Like when you're gluing it down, you want some space. You don't want to lay it directly on top of the cap. You want to pull it down like a half an inch from it. Next, you're going to get the tabs of the frontal and you're just going to place them down, okay? Do not pull it back. Literally just place it down where it wants to go. You do not want to do any kind of tugging whatsoever to your frontal. Alright, so now you're going to take your needle and thread and you're going to sew on your frontal or closure. I personally like to hand sew it. I feel like it's easier. You can use the sewing machine if you want, but I just feel like it's a little complicated. So I like to hand sew it on, and what you're going to do is just loop it through. And I like to make sure that it's nice and close, no big old space, because I just feel like it's more secure that way. You can sew it however you want to, but I like to do it very close to each other. Like as you can see, it's like little small knots being made. Alright, so now you're going to take your measuring tape and you're going to place some lines about 1 inch apart from each other. I like to do 1 inch apart due to the fact that I am double wefting, so I can afford to do that. But if you're doing single wefts, then you are going to want to make sure that you want to put the lines closer to each other so you don't have a spacey, gappy wig. And I'm just starting off at the 11, and then I'm going to go on from there. Okay, so now it's time for my machine settings. Some of them are placed wrong. I did not realize until I started sewing and noticed like this is wrong. So my tension is at 4, and then my needle position is going to be in the middle, and then my width is going to be at a 5. Okay, it's going to be at a 5. And then my length is going to be at 3, and then my stitch is a zigzag stitch. I always use a zigzag stitch when you're making wigs. Zigzag is really that girl, okay? Alright, so now I'm just going to show you how I threaded through. I had the Singer Heavy Duty one, and the numbers are on top. Like, they have a helpful way of showing you, like, the little pictures and the little numbers on how to properly get your thread through to the needle at the bottom. So you're just literally going to follow that. It's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and it literally shows you what to do. So you're just going to drag that down, pull that all the way through, loop that through, as you can see. Then you're going to pull that up, and then you're going to literally loop it through that little hole right there. All you got to do is pull it down, and it goes right through the hole. And then you're going to pull that down and just loop it into the needle. So now it's time to double weft. I like to double weft my tracks instead of single wefting them. It makes everything go by quicker, and it also helps with making sure that the wig is thick. And anytime that I do anything with the sewing machine, I always reverse stitch. Reverse stitching is key to make sure that your tracks, whatever, does not come undone, and it just looks more professional. Also, a quick reminder, guys, this is under the impression that you know how to use a sewing machine. I'm not showing y'all how to use a sewing machine. I'm just showing y'all how I construct my wigs. There are plenty of videos on YouTube on how to properly learn how to sew. And now I'm just placing my tracks onto the cap, and I'm gonna start making the wig. And the lines were kind of slanted, so if your lines go curve or straight, you want to make sure that you're turning your wig literally going in the same exact direction as your lines. This is your guideline. This is your blueprint. Everything that you did before, it's supposed to be easy, so you could just literally place your tracks on and sew. If I was hand sewing, I would usually just flip the tracks over, but since I'm using a sewing machine, I like to cut the tracks. I cut a little bit of the hair. Please don't mind that. I know y'all see some of the hair is cut off, but do not mind that. And then I'm just going to continue on sewing. And always, when you're finished sewing, just like when you start sewing, reverse stitch. This is going to lock in your stitching. Make sure you reverse stitch at least 2 to 3 times. Also, guys, a quick reminder, make sure that you're checking, like you literally stop sewing when you're done with that track, and just flip your wig inside out to check to make sure that everything is good and aligned okay, because you do not want to end up ruffling up your cap or end up sewing your tracks onto your front sew. I've done it before. That's a really bad rookie mistake, and I just like to stop and make sure that everything, it looks good to my liking. So just make sure that you're doing that. You'll thank me in the long run, and you'll be happy. Alright, so this is my last step. I'm sewing on the last track. When I get to the very top, I did start to do single tracks just because I wanted everything to be nice and flat. You can also do that if you might not have enough tracks. You can double weft maybe the back of the tracks, even the middle, but at top, do a single track. And that is what I'm doing. I'm just securing that in there with my reverse stitch like I told y'all. And now I'm done. I'm just showing y'all how the inside of it looks. It looks so good. I'm honestly getting so much better at my placement when I'm making these wigs. I am so happy with the way that it turned out. I hope that this video was helpful. If it wasn't, just let me know and I will make a more in-depth tutorial on how to properly sew and construct your wigs. I can even use a new frontal, or a new closure, whatever. This was just me revamping this old wig, and like I said, I hope that it was helpful. If you are new here, do not forget to like and subscribe. We've made it over 1,000 subscribers, so please click that subscribe button, please click that like button, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye y'all.